Chapter 8. Comeuppance. Ears still ringing, Gran picked herself up off the ground. Through the dust and smoke, she looked over to see Mrs. Fratelli helping Hiram Tolliver to his feet. She'd had to beg, borrow, and steal to acquire those explosives. How many nights had she spent visualizing how she'd use them to make things right? And now, her one shot at destroying the source, that damned hole that swallowed so much of her life, was gone. Traded for this jagged hole in a wall and a foolhardy shot at rescuing Rollo. With Fratelli and Tolliver at her side, she stepped through. It was a strange feeling. The last time she'd stalked this maze of hallways, it was in a different body. They quickly rounded a corner to find a group of clipboards guarding a door. Something worth guarding is probably something worth seeing. She leapt forward, brandishing her cane. If her last chance at vengeance for things lost was truly gone, she would just have to fight to keep what she still had.
Gran, what are you doing here? Luca, what are you doing here? We're here to save Nellie. We're here to save Rollo. Mrs. Luca's Gran. That's awful nice of you. But I'm fine. Oh no, what did they... Gran, there's no time to explain. We have to go now. Come on, everyone, we got a party to crash.
They made their way out from deep within Perennial Harvest, just as Solomon finished up his speech.
Thankfully, we can dispense with the formalities from here on out.
Solomon pulled a glass vial from his pocket.
We gotta stop him.
In one smooth motion, he downed its contents. A triumphant smile grew across Solomon's lips.
No! Well, I guess that's it. We lost. I wouldn't be so sure about that.
With a mischievous look, Beck elbowed Luca. Remember when I had the vial behind my back?
I
might have tweaked his wonder potion with a little malice.
Malice? The whiskey from his office? Yep, dude had an unfinished glass on his desk. Figured his grow juice could use a little hair of the dog. You can all call me Sharper Valentine.
His body and face began to contort and expand as he disappeared into a belching green mist.
Now that's what I call 80 proof whiskey. Damn, dude.
The crowd gazed in stunned silence at the now empty stage. The quiet was broken when William Kerr sprinted off stage and into the distance. He was never seen around Beacon Pines, or anywhere else for that matter, again. Watching the silhouette of Kerr disappear over the horizon, Luca began to laugh. First, a low chuckle that became uncontrolled, heaving laughter. Through his tears, he was vaguely aware that the crowd had begun to laugh with him. The end. That was unexpected. Perhaps a bit of an absurd ending for my taste, but who am I to say? I'm only writing the damn thing. I might have tweaked his wonder potion with a little junk.
Can't wait to see the look on his face when he realizes he drank his own cigar ash. How did ashes get into the vial? Pretty easy to mess with the vial when it's behind my pack. Oh, that's sneaky. Well, it's a bad habit anyways. Always says bad habits are like 50-yard field goals. Huh? Hard to kick. You can all call me Sharper Valentine.
His body and face began to contort and expand as he disappeared into a belching green mist.
Well, that's one way to kick a bad habit.
As the last of what was once Sharper Valentine wafted into the air, the crowd began to disperse, still numb from what they had just observed. Sharper Valentine was gone for good. His end would be a new beginning for Beacon Pines, a new chance to let go of the things they had lost and grab hold of a new future. The end. Well, I'd be lying if I said that wasn't a bit gratifying. If that feels to you like a good note to end on, I won't stand in your way. I might have tweaked his wonder potion with a little change.
Like pocket change? Your unlucky penny! Yeah, I plopped it in the vial when no one was looking. What's that going to do? No idea! That's the beauty of science! Now we observe. You can all call me Sharper Valentine.
His body and face began to contort and expand as he disappeared into a belching green mist.
Holy crap! He's a baby! Yeah, but he's still a Sharper, right? What he was no longer matters. This is an innocent child. I apologize for all the harm my father has caused you.
Eris awkwardly cradled the squirming child. She looked to her brother, her voice shaking with uncertainty.
Augustus, what do we do what Valentines always do? What must be done? I'll hurry home and prepare a crib for father, young Sharper. That would be a great help, thank you.
She looked back down at the infant with equal parts kindness and terror in her eyes. With a shake of her head, Eris addressed the crowd with a stern scowl.
Okay, everyone, the show is over. You may leave now.
Epilogue. Beacon Pines' coldest summer on record came and went without much fanfare. Folks shared what they had and none were left wanting. The new school year was ushered in by the falling leaves of autumn. After everything Luca, Rollo, and Beck had been through, middle school was bearable. The chill of winter didn't seem to bother people much. They kindled a hope for a better future in their hearts. When spring arrived, farmers planted their crops with a sense of joy and optimism. And as the dawn of the first day of summer came again, its light slowly spread through the shallow valley. It crept over the town square, across the river, past the neglected welcome sign, and came to rest on a young boy sleeping at dawn, his mind at peace, knowing he is here for a reason.
Rollo, are you up yet? Roger that. A beautiful day at Mission Control. You gonna swing by? Be there in a minute.
Over time, Eleanor began moving Walt's old things out of the closet and into storage. Eleanor had moved back into her bedroom, and now that she wasn't sneaking out late, she even slept there most nights.
Mom, I'm ready to go now. You go on without me. I'll meet you there. I got a batch of jam to finish jarring. It's funny. I only started making jam as a way to send messages without anyone noticing. And now I enjoy it. I hear you and Rolo have big plans for that little treehouse. Yeah, it started getting crowded after we revoked the max capacity 1 Rolo, 1 Luca rule. So we decided to expand. But at least we got some help with that. How's the internship at Nellie and Iona's shop going? It's been great. I'm hoping it helps me get into the School of Agriculture up at the state. Also, Nellie said she'd write a letter of recommendation, which would be a huge help. I just can't help but worry about leaving Rolo. He's grown up so fast, but he's still my little brother. Yeah, he had a heck of a growth spurt. I don't just mean grown, literally. This morning he was up and finished his chores before I even had breakfast. Well, some of that might be his excitement about the treehouse renovations. Don't tell him this, because it will go to his head, but I'm really proud of that little punk. I'm sure he feels the same way, but he's just too dang proud to tell you. I know. Hey, Gus, how's the tree planting going? Couldn't be better. I'm so grateful to Iona and Nellie for letting me help. I just wasn't built to be a mayor. Too much bureaucracy. Gus, we finished cleaning up the sidewalks. What's next?
When perennial harvest collapsed, most of the clipboards skipped town. But some stuck around and dedicated themselves to making things right.
Anyone with a knack for art can help paint the new offices. You can count on us. Well, it looks like you really found your calling. I never really felt comfortable telling people what to do. Now this right here. This is something I can be proud of. How's the napping this morning? The most underrated part of a good nap is the view. And the view's getting greener every day. I see you decided on a name? Yep, we had to clear out all the old stuff before putting on the final touch. Slow and Dirty Harvest is now official. I like it. It was actually Nellie's idea. There's still a lot of work to do, and the name serves as a reminder. Just because progress is important doesn't mean change should happen fast. In fact, I've learned that the more you care about something, the more important it is to take things slow. Our motto is, go slow and fix things. Amen to that. Young Mr. Van Horn. How's little Sharper doing? Young Sharper seems to enjoy nature more than I. So we do a lot of strolling these days. Has he, attempted to crawl out of his crib and plot world domination? Yeah. Thankfully, no. I spoke at length with Dr. Modwell, and she feels that Sharper's infant mind was not developed enough to retain his previous memories. For all intents and purposes, this child is unmolded clay. Let's hope he's a little nicer the second time around. That is the objective, yes. But really, all I can do is try and hope. Two activities I am endeavoring to find less distasteful. Well, I think you're doing a great job. And the whole town is ready to help however we can. I can't wait to teach him to throw a baseball.
Eris did her best to ignore the tears welling in her eyes.
That would be acceptable. What's today's news that needs knowing? I'll give you tomorrow's headline today. Our old friend Patrick C. Montesquieu, a.k.a. William Kerr, just performed a stirring rendition of The Iceman Cometh at the State Correctional Facility. I hear there wasn't a dry eye in the house. Well, I guess he has plenty of time to work on his craft. He looked to his friends with a thankful smile. After everything that could have gone wrong, everything that did go wrong, we made it. The end.
Closing her eyes, Miss Hatch took a deep, relaxing breath.
Oh, hello, Luca. How are you? Really good, actually. That's wonderful. Did I miss anything? I think you're pretty much up to speed. Luca, do you want a biscotti? On the house. I don't really have time. Ariel, you gotta come see this. I finally did it. I pulled the perfect espresso. Aw, Lumi. If I didn't know better, I would think you're proud of something. As if I... No. It's too late. You are now officially a person that cares. Luca, we never turned down a biscotti. Yeah, goof. Hey, Luca, can you tell Roxy I'll be free in an hour? Sure thing. My dad's making me stock the shelves for the summer. He said it builds character. I think he meant to say it builds calluses. Builds character. Yeah, it builds something, alright. Luca, can I interest you in a delicious apple?
He playfully waggled an apple.
No thanks. Just saying hello. Well, hello then. Mind telling your mom we need a new crate of jam? Already? Funny, I used to hide this stuff in the back. Terrified that someone would find out about our secret messages. Now everyone wants to get their hands on Eleanor Van Horn's famous spy jam. Wow, back for seconds? If it's not too much trouble. For the longest time, I didn't understand the appeal of ice cream. It serves no purpose, other than to be briefly enjoyed and then it's gone. But it's pretty tasty while it lasts. I'm inclined to agree. Oh, I'm glad you swung by. More follow-up questions for your story? Nope, I got everything I need. Thanks again for that. I sent a draft to the story to the reporter in Capital City, and they offered me an internship. Of course they did. You're an amazing reporter. I don't know about all that. A story about a phony corporation that picked up an entire town of people and moved them to cover up a massive illegal mine shaft full of incredibly hazardous chemicals. Sort of writes itself if you think about it. Just don't forget us when you become a fancy big city reporter. Capital City isn't that far away. I'm gonna have to come back from time to time to check in and see what sort of new trouble you've gotten yourself into. Sorry to disappoint, but my adventuring days are over. Ah, we both know that's not true. What makes you say that? Call it a reporter's intuition.
Mrs. Fratelli glowed with a carefree smile.
Is that your suitcase? That is 2 weeks of unencumbered tranquility. Excuse me? Would you be so kind as to take my order? 2 weeks of sand, margarita, and forgotten obligations. Excuse me. I'd love to place an order.
Mrs. Fratelli sighed with a zen-like calm.
Just as soon as the lunch rush ends. I'll be a feather on the wind. You're going on vacation? For the first time in years. And I've got you and your mom to thank. Why is that? She didn't tell you yet. You two are gonna fill in for me at the diner while I'm gone. Just like old times. It's fine. I'll wait.
Over the school year, Kato and Bert had become close friends.
But did you know that when they covered up the source, they found a new species of fungus? Yep, and they were studying it in the new labs. Did you know that Beacon Pines is now the smallest town in the county? Yep, close to the population before Perennial Harvest moved in.
It typically went on like this for quite some time.
I can't believe it's over. Yeah, the town's really starting to turn a new leaf. The town? I was talking about Hank Atomic. I just finished the last issue. How was it? As great as always. Hank finally returned to Earth. But I just feel weird now. Weird can be cool. This means you're ready for something new. Any suggestions? You could ask Miss Hash about what she's always reading. She seems to really enjoy it. Huh, maybe I'll do that.
Luca peeked over Piper's shoulder. Laid stealthily inside a large volume of mathematics was the first issue of Hank Atomic.
Piper, are you reading Hank Atomic? Do you mind not telling anyone? I've kind of got a reputation to uphold. Oh, it's nothing to be ashamed of. Just about every kid in town reads Hank Atomic. Honestly, I'm excited for you. What I'd give to start over fresh. To experience it again for the first time. I guess that's the downside of finishing something nice. At least now I can enjoy it again through you. Promise to tell me about it as you go? Sure thing.
The entire top level of the library was devoted to comics, most of which were Hank Atomic and the myriad of lesser revered spin-offs.
Hey, Mr. Nuncreed. I'm gonna go see my dad in a bit. Did you want to come with? Even after everything I did, you'd still...
Mr. Nuncreed shook his head.
You really are your father's son, aren't you? I don't think I'm ready for that yet. Well, you're always invited. I bet he'd love to hear from you. I'll visit Walt in my own time. You run along now.
With Perennial Harvest gone, the transportation tubes were left unused.
Come on! Come one, come all. No one is too big, no one is too small for Jeff's wild ride.
Maybe not completely unused.
Just one piece of candy for the ride of your life. Who's next? Me. Guess what? Yesterday, I saw a Dynasty's Titus. And that's good? It's great! I haven't spotted one of those in years. At this rate, Beacon Pines is going to become the bug capital of the county.
Luca peeked up at the beehive. It appeared to be deserted.
That's strange.
The Valentine Mansion loomed over every other building in town, both figuratively and literally.
Luca, get this. I managed to reel in an actual fish this morning. Seriously? Yeah, an honest to goodness, flip-floppin', swimmin' fish. I don't think I've ever caught an actual fish here. Been at least 7 years since I've caught one. I say it's a good omen. What do you do with the fish? Oh, I released it back into the pond. I'm hoping to catch it again tomorrow.
Luca wrapped a twig of thyme around the hook. Some fish have refined taste.
Property of Sharper Valentine. Figures. If he had his way, property of Sharper Valentine would be written on everything in this town. Should we give it back to him? He might not even want it back. Man's got a contentious relationship with time. We'll keep it here in case he ever wants to pick it up.
Luca tied a shoestring to the hook. What fish could resist enough?
A little higher. Yep. A little lower. Yep. A little higher. Yep. I'm telling ya, the angle isn't the issue. We need more power to the radio. Luca, there you are. Would you tell him it's not the angle? Hey, I'm not in charge of antenna redesign. Fine, fine. Iggy, just don't do anything drastic until we get back. Who? Me? Tish, you're in charge while I'm gone. Yup. They'll be fine, right? It'll be fine. If we really want mission control to turn into something bigger and better, we have to loosen our grip a bit. Oh, yeah, you're right. Lead the way. I have news I think you'll enjoy. This morning, I unpacked my last box. You're officially moved in. It's just a box. Let's not blow this out of proportion. It sounds an awful lot like putting down roots. I guess I decided this place is root-worthy. You're gonna be stuck with me for the foreseeable future. I have to warn you, most years aren't going to be as interesting as this one. I think I'll manage. Ready? Before we go, there's a bit of a surprise. My mom's prepared this tree, especially for you. I didn't have to do that. It wasn't just them. just about the whole town pitched in. We all owe you. It should do okay in the cold of old Beacon Pines, and thrive as things warm up. That's perfect. Ah, you got it! Now that's a good-looking tree. Being a special occasion and whatnot, it rides on the house. I'm gonna want to hang on tight to that little tree.
I think this is it. The end I've been waiting for. Honestly, I'd begun to lose hope of ever finding it. But then you came along. I don't know exactly how to thank you. It's hard to explain how much this means to me. It's funny, now that our time together is finally ending. I'm at a loss for words. Let's just watch the end together.
Done. A good little tree. The best little tree. Thank you, children. This means a lot. Yeah. Thanks for everything. Shucks, I only did what any super awesome best buddy would have done. We should probably give you some time alone now. You good? Yeah, I am. It's been a wild year. How are you feeling? Everyone keeps asking me that. I'm fine, really. Pa always says the only thing fitter than a fiddle is a cello. And I feel like a dang cello. Well, if you ever stop feeling like a cello, I'm here for you. I know, you don't even have to say it. You two make an awesome pair. Excuse me? We're a trio now. Yup. Thanks. There's just one thing missing now that you're part of our group. Missing? Let me tell you a little story about a man named Hank Atomic. Oh god. I won't be long. We'll be waiting for you back at the phone booth. I found the perfect way to start our summer. You got some good friends. I'm so proud of you. Your father would be so proud. I know. Mom, can I ask you a question? Do you ever dream about Dad? Not a night goes by that I don't. Are you ever afraid that you're going to forget him? Forget what he looked like? Forget his voice? No, because so much of him lives on in you. He loved that old tree, but I know he would have loved this one more. Because his two favorite people planted it. I'll give you two a moment. Hey, Dad. Dr. Modwell says that over the next few years this place should warm up. So you won't have to be so cold for much longer. I think I finally understand why you left that night. There were things you believed in. Big things. Those beliefs were the things that made you, you. If you wouldn't have stood up to Sharper, stood up for what you believed in, you wouldn't have been the same person anymore. You had to go. But that didn't mean you loved us any less. I might not visit you as much as I used to. I know you understand. 10 years later. Wow, nice kick. Sharper, did you find it? Yeah. I found